In today's video, I am going to be taking a look at Cooper Flagg to see if he is elite enough to play at the NBA level, even though he's still in high school and projected to go to Duke next year. Let's get down, let's check him out and see if he's actually going to be a good enough player to be able to do this. Really quickly, if you like the idea of me being able to write on screen as I am right now, basically the app is called Coach Lens. You can get 10% off down in the description below. The one thing that he does extremely well is handling pressure on ball or with a defender who's playing somewhat tight. Now personally, I would like him to use full advantage of this shoulder being in front of his defender, being able to cut him off and getting more into the middle of the court. However, he is still able to lose this defender right here because this defender's shoulders were no longer square with the guy who he's defending, which is Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg was then able to do a quick snatchback. He created a lot of distance. And at this point in time, I would have actually liked for him to pull that shot. However, he tried to do a quick hezzy, and then he pulled up for a mid-range. Now this, even though this is not really a contested shot because there's like a good 4 feet between this defender's hand and the ball, I would have liked for him to be able to pull up for a shot there. You're only looking at maybe college distance from the three anyways, and he's definitely got at least 5, 6, maybe even 7 feet of distance between himself and the defender. So why not pull for that shot instead of a slightly contested mid-range? That's my opinion though, and of course maybe yours. He made the shot though. Okay, so right here, he's about to take his man off the dribble, and by standing straight up, you're going to be getting your defender standing straight up in most cases anyways. This can be done at the NBA level too, obviously, but here he's pushing off of his back foot, using that negative step to get more acceleration. This is engaging the Achilles. This is why you would do this. At this point, he gets his shoulders lower than his defenders. This is going to give him leverage past his man so that now when he does drive, and he takes very few dribbles, his second dribble being right here, and then gathering that ball right here. His last dribble was here, his gather was here. This is allowed at all levels of basketball, no matter where you are at. By gathering that ball early and then going up for that dunk or layup or whatever, taking off earlier on in the key is going to stop reaching in players like this guy from stealing the ball. This is why you also want to keep the ball above your head when you're driving to the rim, because if you've got it at your waist, you will be getting a lot of hands in that region and you're going to be potentially getting that ball stripped from you, but here he was able to slam it down. He's also very good right here. What we can see is cutting off ball. Right now, he's the trailing player. You always, if you're the trailing player, of course, if your offense allows for you to do so, to cut down the middle of the key because your defender is usually not expecting you to be in position to score. But you've already got that full head of steam coming down court. You might as well use it to your advantage. Here, he doesn't even take a dribble. He goes straight up, keeping that ball up high. Now, of course, he was able to get away with doing this because he was and is a tall player. However, a lot of players make the mistake right here. They'll take that dribble right here. And when they take that dribble, they would try to either get past this man or go up in the same location. They'll do a power dribble or they'll do something. You don't need to. You just need to take that one step because remember, you are allowed 2 steps at most levels. And then he keeps that ball nice and high with 2 hands on it until the end where he takes the shot. Going up strong and powerful like this is going to help you at all levels of basketball, especially in the NBA. We can see him do this one more time in this next clip where he cuts baseline, his teammate feeds him, and watch what he does. He lands, you're allowed 2 steps, 1, 2, and then, of course, he could have potentially went up with a dunk. He did not take a dribble, which is what I really wanted to talk about, which is if he was to take that dribble, this guy would have probably stolen or blocked the shot. However, by going straight up as soon as he catches that ball, taking big steps, he was able to finish at the rim. Take few dribbles and you're going to score more. Now watch this. Now off of this defensive stop, right away you should be looking down court. However, he is looking down court and he probably doesn't have any passes to make. So he's getting down court as fast as he can, and then watch what he does right here. He does a quick one-handed bounce pass, leading his man to that ball. which then allows that man to receive that ball, nobody in front of him, and goes straight up, 0 dribbles once again to that rim. And then there's this clip right here where he takes 1 dribble towards this left side. He's getting the screen right here, so he's going to have a wide open shot. This shows me that he's able and willing to take the 3. Of course, this is a closer 3. It's a high school 3, not an NBA 3. But by taking that shot, it's showing that he's willing to take those 3-point shots, and you need to be a 3-point shooter. This next clip, again, when he's driving to the rim, spins off. Remember, his last dribble was here, but his gather was here. Being able to spin off players, being able to drive, and knowing where the next pass is. Even though he was driving to the rim, any paint touch, if you get a double team, you need to kick that thing out. And that's exactly what he did here for his teammate who banged the 3. If you want to be an NBA player, you have to realize when it's a good idea to take a shot inside the key versus kicking the ball out. Here, he could have easily taken that shot. I'm not going to lie, there was really nobody there to contest it. However, if this was the NBA, these guys probably would have been a half a foot closer, and they'd be a lot bigger, and guess what? They would have been able to block his shot. So by showing that he's willing to kick that ball out towards that 3-point line, as he did right here to somebody who was wide open, that shows NBA scouts that he is a willing passer to teammates, especially when he gets a paint touch. Now, talking to a lot of scouts, whether it's NCAA scouts, Canadian University scouts, or even NBA scouts, they all tell me the same thing when it comes to David, and that is this clip right here, what we see, and I'm going to explain it to you right now. You get a defensive stop. David gets a ton of these. If you don't know who David is, it's my nephew. I've posted a ton of them on this channel, but there's a lot of people who are looking at him, and there's a lot of people looking at Cooper Flagg. But this is what I hear when they talk about David. And that is, when he gets a defensive stop, he's looking down court as soon as he gets that stop. If he doesn't make that pass right away because there's nobody open, he's looking for that pass while he's on his way down court. You're always looking for the farthest man down court. If you're not doing that right now in basketball, you need to start, or else you will never make the next level. He's able to hit this pass while making a paint touch to his teammate. We have to remember, making a paint touch is extremely important in the NBA level. Every single team has strategies around getting the ball into the paint and kicking it out. And then his teammate's able to finish at the rim. So what makes Cooper Flagg special? The fact that he does make 3-point shots, he makes defensive stops. When he makes a defensive stop, he's looking to actively pass the ball down court. Something that I've heard so far from 3 guys who are in the NBA looking at my nephew is, does he make the lead pass? If not right away, does he actively look for it when he's going down court? Does he actively try to get a paint touch and then kick it out or score? If he kicks it out, does that lead to that player scoring? Is that player getting set up to be able to score, or just did he miss the layup because he can't hit layups? Things like that. And if that's the case, if you're able to do that like Cooper Flagg, then you're going to be set up for success. We have to remember that when you make the NBA, you're not always going to be that superstar you were in high school. And when you're not in that position to be that superstar, are you able to help the superstars become even better? And if you're not, then you're not very useful to the NBA. However, if you can be that player who can help the superstars, maybe you become a superstar, who knows? But if you are that player who can help superstars, and when you get into the NBA, you become a superstar, that's great. But if not, if you can still keep on helping those superstars, you're very valuable to that club. And if that's the case, like Cooper Flagg is here, then you will make the NBA. That's a very simple, clear-cut rule that they have for every player that they are looking for. I hope that this video has helped you. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.